throwing rockets. These are missiles, yeah. These are fucking missiles. I'm 100%. This is, yeah? We're going in here 100%. I'm going into this fight 100% Conor McGregor. Not 92. 100% Conor McGregor. So it has to be really meticulous. We were right there with the last one. As a unit, we do it, right?
And he wanted on the White House. Now, for Conor McGregor to be on the White House, Conor McGregor wants $100 million and he wants 100 golden visas. So Conor's essentially saying, you need me on the White House and you're going to pay to get me on the White House. To do something that 745 people would do for free. He's essentially asking for $200 million for Conor on that stuff, man.
See, we're marching to the White House, a place never breached like this before. Conor, built on the strongest foundations. I can feel it, truly, you're sharper now, dangerous, refined. I'm locked in, fully prepared, this is the moment. We charge inside with nothing held back. I enter this fight as the real Conor McGregor, not 92%, but whole, exact, ruthless, and precise.
Right there with the last one. As a unit we do it. Let's go, let's go.
Wow, what powerful missiles, what controlled chaos unleashed. His our projectile, launched with intent. Yes, his our damaged weapon, fractured yet lethal. He is a projectile, and his a damaged projectile, forged through impact. He has pummeled countless adversaries. He speaks of deliberate training, plotting a return, framing this as a statement, not merely a fight, fueled by relentless preparation. It's still on the table. So now, let's dissect how this bout truly stacks up.
Look, this is Conor. Brother, Conor is too old, bro. He's finished. Salam alaikum.
And whispers of a potential clash between Conor McGregor and Jorge Masvidal are spreading, tightening the air, but Dana White isn't buying into the noise. Dana made it clear he's completely in the dark on the MMA chatter and doesn't take rumors seriously, even as social media frames it as the next explosive chapter in the White House saga. The UFC president's response cuts through the hype, hinting that not every loud conversation reflects reality, while fans argue over fantasy matchups, dramatic swaps, and imagined outcomes that may never truly exist.
I'm sure you've heard the new talk is that Conor McGregor, Jorge Masvidal could be a potential.
No,
What's your thoughts? Oh, you haven't heard this?
No.
This is the biggest thing on social media now. Everyone's talking, that Chandler's out and Masvidal's in, and it's Conor and Masvidal.
You know what's funny? So in my algorithm on Instagram, I have nothing MMA.
Right?
Literally nothing MMA pops up.
Oh, mine's
my
politics.
Algorithm.
That's my.
Yeah, mine's definitely. There's some politics, but yeah, I don't listen to any of the goofy shit
No.
that goes. No.
Is that considered goofy?
That's goofy shit. Yeah, the MMA world, I don't listen to any of that shit. So literally none of that is on my.
UFC has been locked in tight with the White House for months, quietly engineering every moving piece of this event, Dana revealed, calling the White House card a once-in-a-lifetime anomaly. By his account, the team has built hauntingly precise visual blueprints of the entire grounds, mapping every corner, calculating every shadow, weighing how light and darkness will shape the seats, the tension, the atmosphere. For Dana, the depth of preparation feels almost surgical, and the level of readiness makes it clear this isn't improvisation, it's a controlled spectacle waiting to detonate.
Yesterday, my team, they put together, we come up with a whole plan for production, how it's going to work. My head of production, Craig Borsari, has been working with the White House, for a couple months now, and they build this video rendering of like every tree that's on the property and all this stuff. It's exactly the way it is. We can literally the sun, how the sun will hit the seats at certain times, what it'll look like when it's dark.
Crazy.
This is going to be so badass.
Yeah.
It is. And it's a one of one in our lifetime to be able to do something.
It begins here, and Michael Bisping leaned into the dread, noting how his public return has become a volatile talking point. He stressed Masvidal's repeated appearances at gatherings and his proximity within the Trump orbit, positioning him as an obvious, almost inevitable candidate for something tied directly to the White House. In Bisping's view, the collision between McGregor and Masvidal wouldn't just be a fight, it would ignite headlines, stir tension, and deliver a thrilling, high-voltage spectacle that demands attention.
You look at Jorge Masvidal and the career that he's had, and then you remember Jorge Masvidal has been a massive supporter of Donald Trump.
He has also surfaced openly at Donald Trump's rallies, standing in full view, absorbing the energy, so this connection is definitely real, undeniable, and charged.
Races of the Trump family, right? And they're the kind of people that they're going to want at the White House. Conor McGregor versus Jorge Masvidal. That'll be a sensational matchup. Michael Chandler, of course, losing to Paddy Pimblett the way that he did. And then, of course, when you look at the majority of fights that he's lost, okay, it doesn't really put him in too good of a standing.
If McGregor grinds relentlessly in the gym, it's not unthinkable that he could claw his way back toward the level that once made him a UFC phenomenon. He looked back on that ruthless rise, the night he dismantled Eddie Alvarez to seize the title, the single, surgical strike that erased Jose Aldo in seconds, all wrapped in audacity, sharp words, and unshakable belief. That cocktail didn't just win fights, it forged the biggest star the sport has ever produced. Years have slipped by, damage has accumulated, fractures both visible and hidden, but that raw talent hasn't vanished. With renewed focus, discipline, and intent, the spark that once terrified divisions still flickers, waiting to be reignited.
And all the yes men, if you get rid of all the distractions and you get in the gym, it's not unthinkable to think that Conor McGregor could get just some.
The UFC, think back to 2016, that moment when everything shifted, when momentum snapped into place and history quietly began rewriting itself.
Alvarez, the one-punch knockout over Jose Aldo, right? The rise through the UFC. It was like nothing the sport had ever seen before. And then, of course, combined with the brashness and the trash talk and all the rest of it, and the swagger and the confidence that he had, and the humor and the one-liners, you put it all together, the man became the biggest star that the sport's ever seen. 4 years away, I think it is, or 5 years, whatever it is, it's been a long time, and he broke his leg, but he's back training, he's back in the gym, and I tell you what, right, me and McGregor, we've gone head to head, we've talked a bit of shit over the years, but you can't deny the talent the man had, and if he locks in and he's disciplined, you can get almost back to that. If not,
he kept the speculation churning when questioned about a possible collision with Conor McGregor alongside Dana White, refusing to shut the door. After previously toying with the idea of the matchup, Masvidal dropped a loaded hint that something massive is brewing. He offered no details, but clearly suggested huge news is coming, something capable of shaking the fight world and disrupting the entire competitive landscape.
Push you on this. Is it as big as they come? Because we've seen on the internet, you versus McGregor. Dana White stated that he's no longer interested in McGregor versus Chandler. So then all of a sudden this report comes out, and I'm wondering, does it have legs? Does it have traction? Is it a possibility?
You never know, right? Shit, give them what they want, not what they expect. I can tell you some big news. I'll have some fight news coming soon, and it's very big news. And I can't deny or confirm what you just said, you know?
Yeah.
Just gotta let the chips fall where they may, but definitely some big news headed towards.
Brushing off McGregor's power, he positioned himself a cut above, a predator sizing up every move. Observers framed the clash as a pure stand-up war, warning that McGregor's signature strikes could falter against a sharper, meticulously trained opponent. Masvidal also downplayed the swirling doubts, highlighting the UFC's data-driven precision in selecting matchups, and stating bluntly that, from his vantage point, the loudest voices often miss the deeper currents shaping the fight, the hidden calculations waiting to strike.
That fight. You're talking about everybody else but me, because he knows I'm snipe his ass quick. That little lucky left shit he does ain't gonna work with me, a premium striker, brother. I'm gonna see that shit a mile away and slap him in the face. You know, so I don't think Chris Brandon ever would have been good. I'm gonna beat the fucking dog shit out of him, straight up stand-up style.
Are you surprised?
None of that grappling. I'm just gonna get in your face, knee your ribs, elbow your fucking face. It's gonna be a fight, man.
Are you surprised, Jorge, that he's moving on, Dana White is, from the Chandler fight? Because it's been like 2.5 years in the making. They were supposed to fight 2 summers ago. Like, are you surprised that he was that dismissive of it in that interview?
I mean, Chandler's a big name in the sport. He's a huge name and stuff. So I don't know. I don't know how close it was to begin with to being on the White House card. If that was all speculation from the start, or at one point the UFC did want that fight, I don't know all these things. You know, it's just I know that they have a very in-depth team. That they have a guy that counts comments when somebody gets a picture. They have another guy that's looking at just the algorithm. They have an in-depth team of who's gonna make the biggest noise possible. And I'm sure they run it through that team and they're gonna decide, you know. If you ask me, obviously it should be me. Fucking
And Chael Sonnen spilled insider details about the whispered White House showdown, disclosing that the original blueprint had McGregor lined up against Justin Gaethje. He insisted this wasn't idle speculation. McGregor has no appetite for dropping to 155 pounds, citing reasons that stretch beyond mere weight. As a fighter and as a personality, the former champion refuses to bend for the division, making it crystal clear that any fight at 155 is categorically off the table.
It's not speculation. I'm going to share inside information with you, but the plan, right? Everything's a little loose, but the plan, the operating plan was that Conor McGregor at the White House would fight Justin Gaethje. So it was also a belief. One thing Conor does not want to do, and again, this is not speculation. I'm protecting my source, but telling you, giving you some real information here, accurate. One thing Conor does not want to do is go down to 155 pounds. And he doesn't want to do it for a number of reasons, and none of which bigger than just going, why? What for? Like, that's not what this is about. It doesn't matter what this weight class is. Okay. And I'm very confident in telling you that Conor will not.
It was made clear that, for now, a McGregor-Gaethje clash remains on the table, yet questions linger over whether Conor should truly step into a 155-pound title fight. From Sonnen's perspective, McGregor has no intention of cutting to that weight, though the organization continues to nudge the idea forward. He emphasized that fans were promised a distinct showdown and have exercised patience, and once every alternative is weighed and considered, the pendulum could very well swing back toward the bout the public has long anticipated, the one everyone has been waiting to see ignite.
Right here, right now, Gaethje McGregor is still on the table, and I think that should be pulled. I do not believe that Conor should walk into a title fight, but moreover, I will tell you, and Conor will too, he's not going to 155. Now, the promotion does not yet have that through their head. They are still pushing for Conor and 155. This is all extremely accurate information. So, I think there's a lot of options for McGregor. I really think that if it's not him versus Chandler, it should be. We really should look at that. We fans were promised a certain fight. We fans have been pretty damn patient. And I don't know that side was considered. And I think that when that side does get considered, that it's going to lean.
Ali Abdulaziz also weighed in on the prospect of a showdown between Justin Gaethje and Conor McGregor at the White House on June 14, America's 250th anniversary. He acknowledged McGregor's past brilliance but noted that both fighters now share similar age and experience. Abdulaziz joked about keeping decorum inside such a storied venue, yet emphasized that if the fight unfolds, it would be an explosive clash between two elite strikers, each at the peak of their powers, turning the historic setting into a crucible of skill, speed, and raw intensity.
Grudge match, June 14, America's 250th birthday, Justin Gaethje versus Conor McGregor. What about that?
You think it's just so many possibilities, man.
But you understand, America's birthday, bring an Irish drunk guy to the White House, make sure he doesn't have any drugs on him or cocaine, fight Justin Gaethje, fight Conor, been running for all his life, but I think right now Conor's, I think right now he doesn't have options, or he can do whatever he wants, but I would love to see this fight. And I think, listen, I might not like Conor, but I think Conor was at one point, he was a really, really good fighter. And I cannot take this away from him, you know? But I believe it's level to this. And I believe now Justin Gaethje is on a different level. They're about the same age.
Elazis pointed out that although Conor McGregor carries more titles, a clash with Justin Gaethje should have happened long ago. He labeled it a legendary showdown, describing Gaethje as a formidable, almost relentless force. Understanding why McGregor may have hesitated given the magnitude of the stakes, Abdulaziz nevertheless emphasized that if McGregor truly desires this fight, it is the one he must seize. It promises to be a breathtaking confrontation, a high-stakes collision between two elite contenders where everything hangs in the balance, every strike and decision magnified by the pressure and legacy on the line.
Have more championship belts than Gaethje. Honestly, this fight should have happened a long time ago. Be honest with you, but it never happened. But it is what it is, you know. Can you imagine? You think what's a bigger fight than Conor McGregor versus Justin Gaethje?
Dude, that would be an amazing fight. And I know you said a number of times it almost came together.
I want to come together because I don't think Conor, he would think Conor, you know, so they want to fight with him. He has too much to lose, but having fun. If this is what he wants, that's the fight I'll fight, me personally, you know. But in a way,
I, as Michael Chandler, am refusing to let Dana White's comments shatter my hopes of facing Conor McGregor. To me, McGregor still makes the most sense, but I'm ready for any challenge that crosses my path. Chandler thrives on high-stakes battles, whether presidential or otherwise, and his determination is locked on delivering a statement against one of the sport's elite. Confident, relentless, and calculated, he waits for the moment when the spotlight hits, prepared to seize it and leave an unforgettable mark.
Who's the opponent? Dana says it's not Conor, so we'll see who it is.
Do you have a preference if it's not Conor? Obviously, I know you want to fight Conor, but
I mean, yeah, obviously that's the fight. That's the fight to me that makes the most sense when it comes to Occam's razor. Like, the most obvious choice should be the choice. The most obvious solution should be the solution. We've already got the build-up. We've already got the backdrop. We've already got the animosity. We've already got the footage. But with that being said, if it's not him, I mean, I think I've kind of gotten into a point too where there's this rejuvenation also where you're like, hey, obviously I've had my sights set on that, and if that's kind of the letdown and that doesn't happen, man, like, I want big fights. I want to get back in there and fight a top guy. I want to get back in there. I don't think my last performance was indicative of my actual skill set and my fire and my passion for the sport, just for some outside circumstances. But man, I don't have a preference, but I want a big fight, you know. So we'll see what happens in March. Max versus Charles. Freaking Armin's out there always just talking about people.
That's true.
But I mean, these are not fights that I necessarily deserve, right? We're in this sport where you're like, hey man, you just lost your last fight. You can't go out there and fight number 2 next. But man, I just hold it like this. Whatever comes my way, comes my way. But hopefully Conor at the White House.
Yeah.
Just don't ask Dana.
Yeah, don't ask Dana.
Just don't ask the boss.
Nobody ask him that.
Who cares what he said?
Nick remains unconvinced about a McGregor versus Chandler clash, dismissing it as a fight that merely stirs the lightweight division without delivering real weight. He argued that fans would gain far more thrill watching McGregor face a rival whose clashes carry true meaning and drama. Arnique highlighted that the bout would unfold at 170 pounds, lessening its significance in the lightweight picture. In his eyes, the real excitement lies in contests between top-tier profiles, fights that define the division and linger in memory. Adding to the tension, a bold figure, Arman Tsarukyan, declared he seeks only the main title or McGregor himself, vowing not to step into the cage unless both conditions are met. Tsarukyan even branded himself Conor's nightmare, asserting the UFC would hesitate given how dangerously he could challenge the star. So, the question looms, who is McGregor truly training for? Which fighter will step into the octagon with him at the White House? Share your theories in the comments, and make sure to hit subscribe for the freshest fight updates. One thing is certain, the stakes, the drama, and the unpredictability promise a spectacle no fan will forget.